You mow down my plants, I'll mow down yours. So I just bought my first house last year. It's this cute little place with a decent-sized yard that I was super excited to start gardening in. The previous owner was my landlord before I bought it, and he was pretty chill about everything. But apparently there was this ongoing situation with my next-door neighbor Mike that I had no idea about. First week I'm living there, I'm out in my front yard trying to figure out where to plant some flowers when I see Mike next door firing up his lawnmower. Normal neighbor stuff, right? Wrong. This dude starts mowing his lawn, then just keeps going right onto my property. Like he's mowing a strip of my grass that goes from my driveway all the way to the side of his house. I'm standing there watching this happen, thinking maybe he's just being nice and helping out. So I walk over when he's done and I'm like, "Hey Mike, thanks for mowing that part, but you really don't need to do that." He looks at me all confused and goes, "What do you mean? That's my grass." I'm like, "No dude, that's definitely my property. I literally just bought this house and saw all the paperwork." He starts getting all defensive about it. He's like, "I've been cutting that grass for 8 years. Your old landlord never had a problem with it. That's always been part of my yard." So the next day I go down to City Hall and get a copy of the official property survey map. I walk over to Mike's house and spread this thing out on his porch table. "Look," I tell him, pointing at the map. "See this line right here? My property goes all the way to within 3 feet of your house. That whole strip you've been mowing is mine." Mike studies the map for like 5 minutes and finally goes, "Well, I'll be damned. I guess you're right. Sorry about that. I really thought it was mine." I thought we were cool after that. Like we had a good neighborly conversation and figured it out. So a few weeks later, I decide to start my garden. I planted some perennials in that exact spot that Mike used to mow. Nothing crazy, just some black-eyed Susans, some purple echinacea, and these little lilac runners my sister gave me from her yard. They weren't blooming yet, just small green plants, but I was so excited to finally have my own flower garden. I wake up the next Saturday morning to the sound of Mike's lawnmower. I look out my kitchen window and watch this man mow right over my flowers, just completely demolished them. I threw on some shoes and marched over there. "Mike, what the hell? You just mowed down all my plants." He shuts off the mower and gives me this innocent look. "What plants? I don't see any plants. The flowers I just planted last week, right where we talked about the property line." Mike shrugs. "I didn't see any flowers. Just looked like weeds to me." I was so angry I couldn't even speak. This guy knew exactly what he was doing. That night, I'm sitting in my kitchen, fuming about it when I look over at Mike's front porch. He's got these beautiful purple allium flowers planted right by his steps. These big, round purple blooms on tall green stems that probably cost him like $50 each. And that's when I got my revenge. I waited until it was completely dark. Then I snuck over with my garden shears. I cut every single one of those allium stems right in half, not at the bottom where he might not notice, right in the middle so the flower heads would be lying on the ground like a massacre. The next morning, I made my coffee extra early and positioned myself at my kitchen window to watch the show. Mike comes out in his bathrobe with his coffee mug, probably planning to admire his flowers like he does every morning. I watched his face go from sleepy and content to completely shocked. He just stood there, staring at his destroyed flowers for like 2 full minutes. Then he looked directly at my house. We made eye contact through my kitchen window, and I just raised my coffee mug at him like cheers. He never said a word about it, and he never mowed my grass again. 6 months later, I put up a proper fence.